Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. It's that time of the month again where we look at the colour readings for each birthday for the following month, and we're almost heading towards the end of the year at a great pace. It's coming up to November. So how has your October gone? Did you use your colours? Mine for October were cyan on grey. And yes, I have been using them. And it's interesting that they've actually resolved a dilemma for me. The grey was all about uncertainty, confusion. And what were those about? Well, basically, it was whether or not I would continue to do these sessions. Mainly because they take such a long time to both read and also edit, but also because there hasn't been a great deal of online engagement with them. Nevertheless, the cyan says, wait. And so I did. And out of the blue, so to speak, came a private message from someone who had been invited by a subscriber to have a look and to consider and to give some feedback. I received that feedback on my channel's Gmail account. I'll put a link to that down in the show notes below, in case you would prefer to talk to me privately rather than engage on a public forum. Nevertheless, it was very heartening, and so here I am once again. I hope that you too have been using your colours if you are so inclined, and that perhaps it has made a difference to the way in which you would normally respond to situations in your everyday life. If you have, please let me know, because I'd be interested to find out just how accurate a lot of these readings are. They certainly are exceptionally accurate when someone is choosing their own colours, but these are general readings, and so not everything will resonate for every person, and I'd like to know just how close those resonations might be, if at all. So what are we going to do this time? Well, the oracle I've chosen for this session is the Medicine Woman Oracle. It's primarily feminine, but then so is cyan. And hopefully it will have some messages for you that will be of benefit as we go through the process. Let's now look at a reading for people born in the month of June for their November 2025. Now you'll note here that some of these cards are orange and some are green. The green ones are all totems, and so therefore more powerful than the orange ones, which are simply attributes. And there are far fewer of them in the oracle deck. So let's now look at a color reading for people born in June to examine their November 2025. And we begin the month with pink on yellow. We continue with cyan on pink, and we end with cyan on blue. And the underlying energy is cyan on cyan. Well, June people, 4 lots of cyan, 4 lots of stability, of harmony, of peace, of comfort. 1, 2, 3 times as what you're doing, and once as the need or drive. And the need or drive, as well as what you're doing, is part of your underlying energy that permeates the entirety of the month. This is the ultimate in contentment. I need everything in the world that makes me happy and content and satisfied, and in the real world, I not only have it, but I can create it as well. This is bliss. And bliss is, as an underlying energy throughout the month, a wonderful way of dealing with November. If we look at what you're bringing into the month, we have pink on yellow. Yellow, as the underlying need or drive, has to do with the overcoming of fear and the search for happiness. Yellow internally means that there is information coming in that is going to upset you in some way. It means that there is something that you're finding hard to digest. You're not able to think your way through things clearly. So you're looking for whatever it is that's going to make you feel more in touch with yourself, to make yourself feel happy. In the real world, however, there is pink. Now, pink is vulnerability, both internally and externally, but as an external vulnerability, it means that you are finding yourself low in energy. You need help. There are things that you cannot do because you don't have the wherewithal or the energy to be able to carry those things out. And so, in effect, what you're asking of yourself here is to overcome these fears by getting help, getting someone to give you some love. You want to be accepted, to be given some sort of feeling of being cherished. Now, when we add the underlying energy here, we have pink and cyan together, which have to do with the most wonderful combination that you can possibly think of. And it also occurs when we do the pink top and cyan at the bottom here. Pink and cyan together are all about bliss and love. Things couldn't be happier for you to begin the month. Even though there is this niggling fear underneath that things can't last, nevertheless, you're feeling great. On the other hand, we have yellow and cyan, either as cyan over yellow or yellow and cyan mixed together. Both of those are associated with having to deal with reality. Cyan's reality is all about comfort and things exactly as they should be, whereas yellow and cyan is all about having to overcome fears because you already know the answers, you do understand what's going on, and so your search for happiness is one that is easier to attain. In the middle of the month, we have a repetition of what is happening here, pink and cyan together. The cyan in the real world means that everything is harmonious and your life is organized and stable. At the very worst, it's a little bit stagnant because nothing much is changing. But internally, you don't have the energy or the wherewithal or even the desire to make changes. You want to be loved, nurtured, cared for, and in the real world, there is all of that love and care and nurturing that you desire. Pink and cyan together are the most harmonious and lovely of all of the color combinations. This is, to put it crudely, sorry, June people, but this is what comes to mind. It's like being a pig in feces, shall we say. You're in harmony with your life. Everything is exactly the way that you want it to be. And it couldn't be any better if you tried. Add to that extra doses of this cyan energy, the underlying energy that affects all of it. We end up with cyan on cyan or cyan with cyan, or we end up with cyan on pink or pink with cyan. Either way, you are going to have a truly wonderful, stable, and harmonizing month in November. But by the end of November, all of that's gotten a little bit stale. In fact, that's exactly what the blue here is suggesting. When we have blue inside, it means there is a need to reorganize things, need to get back to doing what you need to in order to not only understand the world a little bit better, but just simply to do your duty. Things here have been left to other people to do. Now it's back to doing for yourself. And as you do for yourself, you're actually creating more of that harmony in the real world. And again, when we cross it with the underlying energy, we end up with cyan or cyan over cyan. Either way, it's back to this state of bliss. If we have cyan over blue, it's the same as here. If we have cyan with blue, then we still end up with the same sort of reading. You find yourself having to take over the nurturing role that you had given to somebody else because you were afraid you were missing out. And now you've been able to create the sort of stability and quiet and comfort that you desire. Let's have a look at what's missing, because this is really quite an intriguing reading. Now, for a start, there's no black. There's also no white. There's no red. But you do have yellow. There's no green. You have blue. There's no brown. There's no orange or grey or purple, but you do have both pink and cyan. So here we have 4 beautiful colours that create a really lovely month of November for you. And here are the colours that are missing. We have black, the ability to withdraw; white, the clash of reality, suddenly being faced with something that is unknown; red, the ability to stand up and do your own thing, be your own boss; green, working on new directions and also new values; brown, setting goals and developing the skills necessary to attain them; orange, dealing with crisis and at the same time the ability to manage your life in terms of social awareness; grey, finding the middle road out of a state of confusion; and purple, which is about child energy, having fun, but also the destruction of what was in order to create something new that is more harmonious and in keeping with what you want to achieve. Now, of those 8 colours, please choose the one that is most appealing and the one that is least appealing, and add those to your repertoire. Because one of the warnings that comes with all of this bliss and quiet and everything comfortable is also stagnation. And you certainly don't want to fall into that trap. So let's look at what the oracle has to say on the topic. And here, because we have a totem, it's the bison. Life is showering you with its abundance. Absolutely showering you with abundance. My goodness, you couldn't get more abundant than cyan on cyan. Absolutely everything that you need, everything that you desire, which is what the pink's about, is there for you. Enjoy it. Wow. Well, some of that was pretty intense, wasn't it? I hope you're finding something useful out of these colour readings. And if you're watching them and don't really want to comment online on the open forum, feel free to send me a message through the Gmail account that's attached to this channel. I'll be more than happy to interact with you. In the meantime, may the colours of your life bring you joy and happiness and all of the things that you desire. We're coming up to Christmas soon. That'll be the next time. See you.